just to give you a quick look at what was done. So the van battery is here. This is the alternator. The alternator is feeding the van battery. When that's full, the relay that I'm going to put on, this is the relay. As soon as this battery here is taking a reading of 13.3 volts, this is going to switch on the relay, this fella, little smart relay, and that's going to throw the charge over onto the auxiliary battery. That'll keep going until this battery, the van battery, the starter battery, once that drops down to 12.8 volts, this will cut out and the charge will be just going into the van battery, so you're not draining your van battery. So basically that's it. So what I've done is run a wire off the van battery, put a fuse here right close to the battery, put the relay here, the smart relay, run a wire over to the battery that I have at the back here, put a fuse there, and ran an earth off of this relay onto a little bus bar that I have in the van here, and that's it. I thought it was going to be really difficult. Yeah, that should keep us going. See, there's going to be 3 of us now charging our phones and what have you when we're in Spain and Portugal. I was all right on my own. I just had enough power on the 100 amp battery. But now there's going to be 3 of us. So this should do it. Every time I start up the van and go for a drive, it'll charge up the van battery. Then as soon as that's charged, it'll go onto the relay, onto the auxiliary battery, and we'll be feeding our phones and tablets off of that. I've also got a solar panel onto the auxiliary battery, so if the odd day we're not driving around, we will be doing a lot of driving because I want to see a lot of the area. We all want to see it, like, but that's about it. We'll all be running off of this. We're trying to go kind of off grid. I've done it for 3 weeks and it was wicked. I had the laptop, I had my drone batteries, I had my phone, 2 phones actually, and I had them all working off of that one battery. That was just with the solar panel. But now that there's 3 of us, as I say, we're going to have to do a bit of driving around. And next thing now, when Jay comes back from England, we'll be building a clam tent on the roof, so people can camp on the roof up top. I'll have to get Jay to help me with that one. Okay. Right, then enjoy the video. Talk to you soon. So here's the little kit from Viva. You can see by the box, you see the stain on the box, the way it's all folded away and falling apart here. That's because I left it out in the rain. It pissed down last night. But here's what you get in the box anyway. I was quite surprised. It had everything. Well, everything that I need. 2 fuses. 2 fuse holders, I should say. Little fittings there. Oh, blasted them. You got the battery connections. 2 of them, obviously. I won't be using them. I got a different type one. But your cables all come with the lugs on, which is good. You got the black cable for the battery as well. That goes onto your body. And you got 2 other ones then to join up when you put the fuses on. This is the little magic box. I don't know if you can see there. But it kicks in when it's all rigged up. And the lead is coming off of the battery on the van. that's coming up onto this. There's the wire coming off the van onto the fuse, then another wire coming off the fuse onto this, and this then another wire leads onto my battery in the van. And what that'll do is, once the engine is running and the actual van battery has charged up, once it reaches 13.3 volts, it'll swap over onto this little light comes on, and it'll pump the power then onto my auxiliary battery, which is down there. So now I have to run a wire from the front. The actual battery is underneath the driver's side down here, so I'm going to have to run the wire through onto here, and I think I'll put it someplace around where that fuse board is as well. So I'll get into that then. So I'm at the battery here now, and this is the lead. There's a little nut down there, and I'm going to be joining onto that, and there's no real space for me to put the fuse. It's only a small little box like this, but there's no real space unless I put it in here. But I don't want too much wire sticking out, so what I'm going to have to do is cut this here and put a new lug in it onto the fuse box then, and fuse holder, and this one will be running in underneath this door plastic here. There's a little channel inside, I'm happy to say, and I'll be running some garden hose in here with the wire in it. I've already had this off, and there was only one part back here that had a lip sticking up really sharp, so what I done was cut a bit of hose, put some silicone on it, and just slipped it over it. Now the garden hose with this wire in it will be riding over that, straight through a hole in the back here, in here, through here, over here to wherever I decide to put the magic little box, the isolator, onto that battery there. So that'll be good. Fitting on this. This is going to squash the ass off it now. That's going nowhere now. Solid. Put the old shrink tubing over. So I've run the pipe in. I've run the garden hose in, and inside the garden hose you got the wire. So that's running out the back and in there, kinda. And what I'm going to do now is use some dish soap, this dish soap, washing up liquid, and run it along here. Because what happens is you got to get this in underneath that rubber, and the rubber doesn't want to come over. It's kind of awkward, but I remember this old trick that I learned when I was doing the rubbers on the Range Rovers. You just put this soap all along here, just to act as a lubricant. That helps. But what also helps is having a string of some sort. This is 200-pound fishing line. So what I've done is run it in behind the rubber, the whole way along here, because this, as I say, has to flap over this. The rubber has to flap over that. So get that in there. Up here. That's that. Now I got to maneuver this in on well, as close as I can here, and then I'll show you what the fishing line does. I'll just bring you in a bit closer there, just to see what I'm on about. If you look at this, the rubber is kind of folded back in itself. It has to go over this. So I'm going to put on a bit of more dish soap, washing up liquid. Again. Oh boy. I have the other side of this 200-pound line tied on here, but I'll just hold it. And if you can you see that? It's pulling the rubber up over the lip. Well, that's how we done it 40 years ago. You might be doing it this way, Andrew, so seeing as you got the same wagon. Well, you see this here where I'm joining onto? It's fixed, so no fear of it dropping through. I had to hold the bottom of it just in case. It's just a bolt kind of fixed into this plate. But there's a plastic kind of cover, insulating cover over it. So to make a good connection with the lead that's got the fuse on, I'm going to build it up. It's like a, I don't know, is it 1 mil, 2 mil, but it's just thick, or if not thicker than the insulation that's on it. So I'm just going to put that on first, and that'll build it up so it makes a good connection. Have it connected onto the battery. Goes back around in through this metal part there where I drilled the hole yesterday. I deliberately turned off the volume on when I was drilling, nothing worse. So, and here's the fuse that fits into that there. Yeah, I'm going to have to put that in as soon as I can because I keep on misplacing it. Anyway, that's it. You just loosen them 2 nuts, slide this in, and Bob's your uncle. I'm not going to put it in just yet until I'm ready to put everything away. Wire runs through here, around in here, and what the fuck? There's a drone flying around somewhere. Little fucker. Oh, I see him, he's way up there. Tiny. Anyway, yeah, so the wire is dropping around here, in here, onto the back of the switch, running down here, onto the fuse. You got that? Onto the fuse there. I had to drill through that wood. That's how tight it was. It wouldn't go around the wood, there wasn't enough wire. And I got 4 meter length, but onto the battery there. And you might see that black negative or ground, whatever you'd like to call it. That was meant to go onto the battery, to run onto the chassis. But I put some thick earth wire on instead. I wouldn't advise using household wire on any of this. Don't think like putting thicker wire on is going to help in any way because like it's not made for it. That stuff there, that red that's running onto the battery off of this relay, it's got hundreds and hundreds of little strands in it, which makes it really flexible. The only thing about household wire is the bigger it gets, they don't add more strands, they just make the strands thicker. So they crack, they break, and you know, with the vibration in the van and what have you. Whereas the other stuff is made for it, like marine wire or car wire, like, you know. If you see, it's really flexible, really good. Yeah, that's about it. Next job now will be to put a tent on the top of that, you know, like one of them clam tents. It's going to open up like this. I've just ordered the hydraulic struts. Push it up. It's going to be like like this. I have to make another roof rack thingy in the middle there to support the weight. But that'll be about it. Adventure before dementia, my man. I forgot to mention that, like, the reason for the clamp thing on or the tent on top is that we're all going back over to Spain. Last time I went on my own, stayed over there 3 weeks, wicked in the van, and now I'll be bringing the crew with me. My daughter asked me to bring her camping about a year ago, so what better way to do it? You know, trip over to Spain. The tent will be opening that way. Say there's the back of the van, so it should be opening that way. And ladder up to it, obviously. I'll be making that. Might do a video of it. Let me know if you want to see it. Bye for now.